This is the famous white sand that everybody's always talking about. Never been here before. It's my first time. Let's take a step into this sand and see if what's all the fuss is about. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'll be the first to admit. It's nice and powdery, soft. Not any big rocks or anything like that you're stepping on. Beach is kind of happening today. And it's not even like the greatest beach day, but it's not bad out here. I see a pier down there. We passed another pier earlier. Here they have like a kind of like a mix of different high rises and some houses on the beach. That's kind of neat. Let's feel the water. I don't know if you guys can see this in the video, but like I said, every time I've been to the Gulf before, the water here's like green. I don't know what's up with that. But sometimes, like the last time I was in Clearwater, it can be kind of stinky. Oh yeah, the water's definitely cooler here than it is in Miami. A little bit colder. You can see for miles down there, there's high rises and all kinds of stuff on the beach. One thing I noticed here that's kind of strange is a lot of these new construction houses they're building on the beach are all like framed and made out of wood, which really doesn't make any sense considering that this is one of the most hurricane impacted areas of Florida. The Panhandle receives more hurricanes on average than any other area of Florida. So for them to be building houses out of wood here seems to make zero sense to me. The only part of it that I think makes any sense is, I guess it's easy to rebuild if it gets blown away, which chances are it probably will. So we just left the beach. I just wanted to check it out real quick before we check into the hotel. And as you can see, stopped at my favorite Midwest burger joint for lunch again. Second time now, Culver's, twice on the trip. And I just wanted to say a couple things. First of all, here in Panama City Beach, it's significantly cooler than Miami. It's not cold by any means. It still feels warm out here in the sun. You know, it's 77 degrees today, but it's 90 degrees today in Miami. So that's 13 degrees difference, and I can definitely feel the difference, you know, being from down there. And, you know, it's a pretty significant change. And tonight it's supposed to get down, I think, in the 50s here. So that'll be interesting. Can't wait to see what that's like. And one other thing I wanted to point out, if you guys see all those trees behind me, you see most of them are pretty stripped and bare bones. I think it's because of the last major hurricane that came through this area a few years ago. I want to say it was Hurricane Michael. This area in the Panhandle got rocked pretty good back then. And it looks like those trees back there obviously took a good beating. But around town I haven't seen anything that looks like, oh wow, that still looks messed up. I think they probably did a pretty good job of recovering. But I'll be back with some more first impressions on Panama City Beach soon. Now let's move on over to some of the dash cam footage. Don't worry, I'm not actually driving this fast. I just have everything on double speed to get through more of the area quicker. And my thoughts on Panama City Beach as a whole are a little bit conflicted. And what I mean by this is, on the one hand, the beaches here are really nice, guys. I like the white powdery sand beaches. The water was beautiful. It was a nice and cool temperature, but not cold to get in. On the other hand, the whole vibe here reminds me a little bit too much of South Beach. It's a little bit chaotic. You'll see coming up as we get closer to like the hit spot here. The traffic is like bumper to bumper, and I hate that, you know. I've dealt with that for many years here in Miami, and this was just like a regular day of the week. It wasn't a holiday or anything out of the ordinary, so I'm guessing it's probably like this all the time. I think they probably had some kind of biker convention or something in town. You'll see a ton of motorcycles going by. But to deal with that on a regular basis, again, you know, that makes no sense for me. So as somebody who's looking for like another place to live, I wouldn't want it to be like that wherever I move to. I would want it to be somewhere more calm and more peaceful than that. Because look at all this traffic on the side, you know, on the other side of the road, and even my side too, you know. It's like lots of stop and go. This is like Collins Avenue by me. It's just like that one street, you know, there's like one lane on each side. So you get the idea. I don't want to deal with this level of traffic somewhere new, otherwise it really doesn't make any sense to move somewhere. Although I will say that it is kind of similar to Miami in the sense that Panama City Beach is basically like South Beach when you look at Miami. But if you head west up the panhandle, then it gets a little more relaxed in some of the towns that you pass through, and some of them are even really nice and very expensive, like Seaside and Rosemary Beach, and I forget the names of a couple of others, but you guys will see the videos coming up I have on those places as well, because we drove through all these areas and stopped there too, and there are a lot of different vibes and areas you can get right in this area in the panhandle between Panama City Beach and Destin, essentially. So you can really change up the vibe if you want to, and if you want the party scene, you could be down here in Panama City within like a half an hour drive or something. So, you know, the whole area itself is pretty cool. But there are some weird things about the area too, which I'll show you right now. As soon as you pull off the main drag here, which apparently is Highway 98 by looking at the map, things change in quite a hurry. You know, the main drag is like the tourist attraction area of Panama City Beach. So we got all the nice high rises and the hotels and all of these things, right? But then just when you go a couple blocks off the main drag, you start seeing places like this, which reminds me of Florida Man quite a bit. It's pretty hillbilly in some areas here of Panama City Beach. Nothing against you hillbillies out there, but it's just kind of strange to see the vibe change so quickly from block to block like that, so it's worth noting. And guess what? There's a ton of free entertainment here too in Panama City Beach. You don't even need to go to one of these tourist attractions. Check out what we saw just a couple blocks away from this spot. Well, there's all kinds of Florida Man things to see like that over here in Panama City. So if that's your thing, you should definitely come over here and check it out. If you're into high-rise trucks that you can't even see over the steering wheel in, I totally recommend it. In the meantime, guys, check out my next video on the screen, and I'll see you guys over there.